And welcome to episode 1 of the entire traffic series. Now, in this series is something we've been getting a ton of requests on, people wanting to learn and discover all the techniques and strategies and tactics that is purely related to just traffic. If you go through this series, by the end of it all, you will discover literally what separates the top 1% of the 1% compared to everybody else. And if you stick till the end, you'll discover why most people are not implementing these strategies that will make all the difference for you when it comes to acquiring customer, when it comes to getting more reach and more visibility. So this first episode, before we even talk about the tactics, the strategies, is to give you the big picture of how traffic actually works. Traffic is something that is a really hot, sexy topic. And for the longest time, something that I struggled with when I was starting out 13 years ago. And after I figured these different pieces out, which is both the big picture strategies as well as the tactics, everything changed for me. I went from making like $1,000 a month to literally building an 8-figure business. Today, we are like the 1% of the 1% in the ClickFunnels community. In fact, just recently, they just shipped us the 2 Comma Club C award, having done over $25 million just utilizing that software. If you were to first understand this first big piece, which is understanding your dream customers as well as your clients, this is the first step of this entire traffic series. Now, in this traffic series, we're also going to be really tactical. This is when I'm going to dive into my computer and show you the tactical side of things. But let's talk about the big picture strategy first. Now, so before we even talk about traffic and talk about the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the first thing we need to think about is who do we serve and what is the result we're able to generate for these group of people, our dream clients, our dream customers, our dream audiences. Once we identify this, then only can we go into the next step. So one of the things I want to make this YouTube video series really different from all of the other videos out there is to make it so that it's something you're going to follow along and do together with me. So it's not just a video series that you binge watch, but hopefully you have a pen or pad or a laptop writing down and doing this exercise with me. Okay, so first off, begin with who do you serve and what is the result you're able to generate for that particular audience. Because once you do that, we need to understand this next thing about traffic. Traffic is already happening. One of the most common things people ask is they say, how do I get more traffic? Is the wrong question to ask. And the reason why it's the wrong question to ask is because right now, if you think about it, the conversation from your dream customers and your dream clients and your audiences is already taking place on some sort of platform. And this platform could be on some sort of Facebook group, it could be on Instagram, it could be the fact that they are searching for the answers on Google, it could be on YouTube. The conversation is taking place somewhere. The next thing we gotta ask ourselves is, where are they hanging out? If you know my story, 13 years ago, I started off in the World of Warcraft niche. 13 years ago, there wasn't Facebook, there weren't all these different platforms, well, Google was around. But the first thing that I did, which was kind of based on luck, is back then the popular platform was MySpace. And in MySpace, there was the game World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft on MySpace had like tens and thousands of friends or people who followed World of Warcraft on MySpace. And I remember the first things that I did that had minor success in traffic, that got me sales and more visibility for my World of Warcraft product, is I started targeting these people that followed World of Warcraft on MySpace. And that was really the beginning of this entire concept, which is really understanding that whatever product that you want to sell to your dream clients or your ideal customers, they're hanging out somewhere. Are they in the Facebook group? Do they follow a certain page? Do they like a certain book? Do they like a certain celebrity? Are they searching for some sort of keyword on Google? Are they binge watching a YouTube series from this particular influencer? Do they have interest in this particular skill set? Traffic is already taking place. So the next thing that you need to do is to understand this next concept called the Dream 100. And I believe that this Dream 100 concept was coined by Chet Holmes, made popular by Russell Brunson and a few other marketers like Dana Derricks talks about this as well. But ultimately, what is the Dream 100 all about? It is the start of the plan to mapping out this entire thing that we talked about here. Again, it's a worksheet that you're gonna do together with me. This is literally the foundation of our traffic strategy. The Dream 100 is basically understanding that whoever it is that you want to target, they are following these authors, influencers, celebrities, organizations right now. And in an ideal situation, if you could have their followers follow you as well, who would these people be, right? Because remember, conversations already taking place. So one of the things that you want to do is to start really listing out and start thinking about who these people are, what podcasts they listen to, which YouTube videos are they watching or binge watching? What type of Google keywords are they searching for? Pinterest? You see, when it comes to traffic, notice that there are two main types of traffic over here. The two main types are really just this one, which is a traffic based on pattern interrupt. Now, if I was to take my phone, now what is a pattern interrupt? In today's world, a pattern interrupt is whenever you go on Facebook, what are most people doing? People are doing this, right? They're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. When does somebody stop? They stop when there's something that catches their attention, when there's a hook, when an image, a thumbnail, a call out stops them in their tracks that makes them go, huh? And that makes them stop to give you that initial 3 seconds of attention. Right? This is based upon pattern interrupt. In fact, I should do it like this, okay? It's kind of like when TV first rolled out and the first ever ad that appeared on TV, it's kind of like ads in the newspaper when people are reading content on the newspaper or magazine, and then there's an ad placed in between content. This is the same thing. Are your audience hanging out on these type of platforms that requires interruption marketing? Or at the same time, the other side would be over here. This is based on search and this is based on intention. You will get visibility when it's being discovered based on what people are searching for, right? So how would a YouTube video get discovered? It will get discovered if somebody is doing a search on the search engines on Google and a YouTube video is shown. So traffic is not about how do I get more traffic. Traffic is about entering a conversation that is already taking place somewhere on some platform that they're doing right now, and that could be based upon search or interruption marketing. So what does this mean? It means that when it comes to implementation, now again, what makes all these different videos different is that all these videos, you're gonna do it together with me. The next thing I'd like you to do is, this is your homework, but it's pretty much homework that makes you money. In order for me to help you scope out your entire traffic strategy, it is to think about who you serve and what is the result you generate. And once you do that and we determine who your ideal client is, customer is, start mapping out what are the Facebook pages they like. So for example, if I was in weight loss, maybe I might list out, P90X, or which is a home workout program, or it might be the keto diet or keto body, or different influencers in Facebook. Same thing for Instagram. Why would I want to list it out? It is because when I start listing out the books they read, the pages they follow, and the influencers they like, I can eventually either create ads that target them, or I can create free content that targets these people, or I can work strategically towards building a relationship with all these different people, thought leaders, influencers, business owners, to eventually penetrate and enter their audience's following, so that I can now have a much more targeted ad that gets people to my website or my funnel. In summary, let me tell you why this Dream 100 is a huge money maker. In fact, when I was first starting out, my first big break, where I did over $20,000, literally overnight when I was sleeping, in the World of Warcraft niche was because of this. I remember back then, there was this huge influencer, and one of the things that he did, his name was Brian Cobb, he had a huge list, huge following, and it was because he held like the world record of going from level 1 to the maximum level, which was level 60 back then. And he had like a ton of people following him. And I knew that if I could strategically work with him and have him promote my product, we will make a lot of money together. So he eventually did, and you'll see why in future videos how I strategically made it happen. But this was how I began with the end in mind. I knew that he was in my Dream 100, and I knew that if I could get him to promote my product in the World of Warcraft niche because he had a huge following, I would be able to make it a win-win for his audience, for him, as well as for me. And you will see why in future videos. It all begins, whether you intend to build traffic using free traffic strategies, whether you intend to pay for it, whether you intend to work with somebody else, it all begins with this one spreadsheet here. In future videos, we're going to go deeper into the tactics as well as strategies. But before we do that, make sure you have this thing done. So that's the wrap up of episode 1 of this traffic series. Let me know in the comments below what was your biggest takeaway, any feedback. Is appreciated, and make sure you like this video. It does help out with the algorithm with this channel, and subscribe if you want to be notified the next time we release episode number 2. So if you like this video on traffic, this book right here that was just released by my friend Russell Brunson is literally the #1 book on traffic. I literally paid $50,000 for this book, and the reason for that is because I'm part of Russell Brunson's mastermind. That's $50,000 a year, and one of the things that he did is he gave this book to us about half a year before it went public. But it's finally live right now, and if you'd like to get a copy of this book, the details are below this video in the description. And one of the things that I did to support my friend Russell Brunson is I've prepared all these different bonuses that helps you with the streamlining of your traffic, creating systems around it, but most importantly, implementing all of the strategies in here. Details are all below this link. If you're gonna get the #1 best book on traffic, you might as well get some killer bonuses together with it. Details are below in the description box. I'll see you on the other side.